I now invite Dr. Ron Waksman, Associate Director of Cardiology at MedStar Washington Hospital and Director of Cardiovascular Research and Advanced Education. Please welcome Dr. Ron Waksman.
Thank you. You know, that all-women case really close to my heart. Kinney was doing the first, I think, in the world, all-women case at CRT in 2018. And it was really remarkable. So I'm glad that today it's not like unusual, but at that time it was really a pioneering. Anyway, let's switch gears. DCB is really something that is coming. And this is a very provocative title. I'll try to defend it. And I must say that first and foremost, these are my disclosures, you need to understand and agree that there are some limitations to drug-eluting stents. We've seen here stenosis, we still see some thrombosis, and we have been seeing that DCB is emerging as potentially alternative for not having another layer of stent when it's come in stent restenosis, or not to have at all a stent when you're treating coronary artery disease. So I think it is something that is coming. You have to accept it because it's changing the entire culture of treating. But I'll try to bring you some data why we can conceive that DCB will replace DES in most of the cases. So first and foremost, DCB is approved now in the US for over 2 years for the treatment of in-stent restenosis, and it's used pretty heavily. And we do have also data on 3 years that does show that it's maintained the efficacy against POBA, not against DES, but against POBA. DCB, as you can see, is disseminating in many, many countries. Now we have it also in North America. And if you look in Europe, what are the indications to DCB? It's almost everything: small vessels, long lesions, bifurcation, CTO. We can go on and on and on. But DCB, from indication perspective in Europe, this technology has been there for over 2 decades, has been disseminating to almost all the indications. So in-stent restenosis, we talked about it. We have agent 3 years data. Solution ISR probably will get approval within few weeks, if not few days, in the US with sirolimus eluting balloon. Medic Judge and Prevail are on the way. So we would have, within a year or 2 years, almost 4 systems just in the US for in-stent restenosis. And I think people are going to use more and more of this device for the treatment of ISR. This is the Asian trial, the original study design. Again, I criticized why it was against balloon angioplasty and not against DCB. The reason was that DES was not approved at that time also for in-stent restenosis, although it was used. And this is a 3 years data, which showing that over 3 years you still see events, but agent DCB is better than balloon angioplasty. So balloon angioplasty is not the way to treat it. Solution ISR was a similar study, but this time it was not the control group of balloon, it was the standard of care. What was the standard of care? DES in 80% and 20% POBA. That standard of care through the duration of the study has been changed. It was set as a non-inferiority study. There was a large delta. But overall, it met the non-inferiority. And based on that, it will get approved in the US. There is no doubt in my mind. And as I said, it's a matter of few days. And one of the questions that ask everybody is there is a difference between paclitaxel to solution, which is sirolimus. We actually looked at 2 treatment groups from agent and from solution, and when I tried to plot one versus the other, we saw almost similarity. So at this point, I cannot say that there is an advantage of one drug versus the other for in-stent restenosis. But the biggest issue is the de novo lesions, because many of you would argue, stents are doing so great, why should we de novo lesions? So we do have some data, the solution de novo 3,323 patients. We have also data on complex lesions, 421 patients. We have cage-free, 2,272, and all these are randomized studies. We have small vessels with over 758 patients, bifurcation, 825 patients, CTO multiple studies, And we have expansion of labeling also to ACS and STEMI and SVG and calcified lesions. So let's talk about the solution de novo. This was basically a strategy trial to look on a patient whether he should get a DEB or DES. And it was a very large study. It was conducted in Europe. It was investigator-sponsored study. And the primary endpoint was non-inferiority for TVF at 1 year. There were also secondary co-primary endpoints. But when you look at the overall cumulative incidence of TVF, it seems to be within the ballpark. Look at the numbers, 4.4% DES strategy, and the solution DEB 5.3%. So again, the numbers are very low event rate. But what is the advantage? The advantage is that you don't end with a stent with solution de novo. Is that going to hold over years? We'll have to wait 4 or 5 years to see if you have a flat line, or you continue to see events like DES. But if you won't see events like DES coming in a rate of 1% per year, over time, DEB would be probably surpass in terms of efficacy the DES. So that's something that we are definitely paying attention. But people says, well, this was, although all comers, these are simple lesions, well, they're not so simple. This is a sub-study that was presented at EuroPCR with Dr. Simon Eckshell, who was one of the principals of the study. And he was actually looked just on the complex lesions, which mean 3-vessel disease, lesions. There were more than 1 or 2 drug-eluting stents, bifurcation, chronic total occlusion, all those, and long lesions, more than 60. So that's basically what seems to be a complex lesion cohort. He found out 421 in the solution and 414 in the DES. And if you look overall, these were from the lesions that were treated per patient, there were about 2. Patient had multivessel disease. Bifurcation was nearly 40%, and moderate or severe calcified lesions was over 27%. So you cannot argue that this is by the angiographic characteristic complex lesions. And when you look at the overall balloons that were used, you can see multiple balloons. Imaging was used only in 20 to 26% of the lesions. But here's the result. If you look at the complexity criteria, for longer lesions, the solution was 71.7% versus 60.4%. And when you have at least 3 devices, and this is just for the complexity, 64 versus 50, bifurcation 35 versus 44. So clearly you do have testing of the solution in complex lesion. If you look at all of them together, and you're looking at solution DEB strategy versus DES strategy, for this complex lesion at 1 year, the TEF is lower in the DEB versus the DES. So that makes an argument. You may have to work more in terms of vessel preparation. It may not fit all of them, maybe only 80%. But at the end of the day, this is fitting a very well complex lesions. And this is some other results. Cardiac death is lower. Target vessel myocardial infarction is 2.6 versus 7.5%, which probably drove the results. And clinical driven TLR is almost the same. So you get the same, less complication, and without a stent. So why not? And this is some secondary endpoints that go on the same trending. Late lesion occlusion 0 versus 0.7 in the stent, which is not high. But if you can save that 0.7, that's a good thing. Now, Cage-Free was looking also in China on DCB versus DES. And what they found out that if you look at small vessel, it does work. If you look at large vessel, it doesn't work. And the question is, why is that? We don't know yet. There are more studies that are coming on large vessels. And you can see here the difference between the small vessel, 3.0. There's no difference. Large vessels, DES was still better. So that's an open question that needs still to be investigated. Small vessel, we have ample data to show that DCB is the way to go from the Bello and from Piccoletto and from other studies that were done in Switzerland. This seems to be pretty convincing. And there are a few studies that are going on right now in the US, and I will submit to you that they will be non-inferior to stents. So who wants to put stents in small vessel? No one. And that's why in Europe it's becoming more and more the practice of the interventionalist. And you can see, and even in the US. 30% of the agent is using an off-label, and the majority of them are in small vessels and in bifurcation. This is all the study that in small vessels, in bifurcation, you see the same thing. Even in the cage-free, there is an advantage or non-inferiority. And CTO, I know Dr. Nicholson is going to debate with me, but this is all the DCB and CTO also looks pretty good. So it's being used. It's being used in calcified lesions. There is data to support it. Not all of this is randomized trial, but it will come. So at the end of the day, I think you have to be open-minded and you have to look in the future. Patient doesn't want stents. Physicians, it's easier for them, but I submit to you that over time there will be a shift to leave nothing behind, which would be including DCB versus DES. Stay tuned.